this all brings me to, other than all these other questions about, philosophical things about duality and non-duality and such, which are fascinating. But really, what I want to ask is, this process of meditation seems to be, all of the philosophy points to this practice of how we can free ourselves from this. I forget the word you use, like the
Prison.
the prison, essentially.
The regime.
Regime of the
Tyranny.
mind. Yeah, exactly. So how does meditation help with that process? And perhaps more importantly or foundationally, what is meditation? Because I think everyone nowadays has heard the word meditation, but a very few, a small percentage of those people really understand what meditation is, why one should meditate, what the benefit is, the context of it, and how it can really help free one from that prison.
Okay. So I think you could say, using modern language, that we are born with a 6-channel parallel processor without an instruction book. So we get the 5 senses and we get thoughts and imaginations, all bombarding us continually the whole time, no instruction book. And we copy our parents and look around and get words, but we just have to make it up. We've got no idea. I mean, no one's saying this is what we should do. So what meditation is about initially is trying to get a handle on reflexivity, because reflexivity shakes us up as reflexivity would. So the metaphor that's normally used is we're like a glass of water with some dust in it and it's being shaken all the time. So the water's all cloudy and turbulent and we're kind of reacting to this and reacting to that. The proper word is adverting. We're being adverted to this and adverted to that, which is where the word advertisement comes from. They're designed to capture you and make you look. And we're bombarded with it. I mean, not just adverts. The kids now, every single time they go to class, they're given a grade out of 10. It's like it's just relentless judgment. This, got to do this, got to do that, it's all obligation, judgment, being pulled this way and that. So as a result, we're very turbulent. So because it's 6 channels, it's a lot to handle. So the first step that in meditation, so what is meditation? So meditation is learning how this thing works, really. So you've got this video thing and you're going, well, what's that button doing? What's that? You're trying to work out what it does, right? So you've got 6 channels. So the first thing to do is say, well, let's just take one, because the other 5 are too much for me to handle right now. So all meditation techniques say, okay, first concentrate on one thing. It doesn't matter which of the channels. You could take the sense of vision, you could take the sense of touch, you could even take the sense of taste if you wanted to. But the normal ones that people start with is vision and touch. So either you take the sense of touch of your breathing on your nose, for example, or you might take a candle and just look. What you're learning to do is to get control of your concentration, because our concentration is brittle. It's being pulled this way and that, like quicksilver. And we have to learn, no, just look, just do that, don't do anything else. Let's take a candle, you just look at the candle, keep coming back there, keep coming back to the candle. And gradually you develop the habit of being able to what's called rest your concentration on that thing. Having got to that point, we've achieved the first step in meditation. We've taken the first step down a path of meditation. The next thing is to realize that concentration doesn't necessarily have to be brittle, because we have another aspect of concentration you could call savoring, where you savor something you've concentrated on. Now, again, in modernity, people don't. They gulp their food down, drink their coffee, run off to work, wear Google glasses while they're doing something else. It's like, it's insane. There's no savoring anywhere.
Yeah.
But of course, learning to stop and smell the roses, is the old saying, is about a different capacity of concentration. And so there are deliberate meditation techniques to learn to savor. Now, savoring is quite literally like an antique dealer who will pick up an object, and they won't just go, oh, it's one of those. They'll touch it and feel it and turn it over and hold it. Or like a craftsman maybe working with something. It's very tactile. It's tacit. This capacity of concentration develops a stability in which things that will disturb brittle concentration, like the car door slamming or a thought in your head or something. It doesn't. It's just part of the taste of whatever you're savoring. Once you've got there, the dust begins to settle. And you start finding, oh, okay, what's going on then? And that's vipassana, that's clear seeing. You start to see a bit more clearly what's actually happening. That is the beginning of the path of concentration. And what you start seeing is this difference between cognition and recognition. You start going, oh my God, I can see how I'm reacting to that. I can see what that is. Wow. Normally, we're just immediately into the reaction. We're so stirred up, we never realize that there was a point before.
You can see the immediate experience and the layer of
The
conditioning,
layer of conditioning
you
on
project
top.
onto it. Yeah.
And what we realize is we're living in a narrated experience of the world in which Richard Dixey, the hero, is fighting his way through obstacle after obstacle that's coming his way, and whatever, he's succeeding and failing and happy and sad and this and that. Oh my God, this hero who's having to fight his way through the world is actually a construct.
Yeah.
He's not there at all. It's just a way of making sense.
It's like the cup, the word cup.
Yeah, it's like the word cup.
Yeah.
And so once you start seeing what I call the heroic narrative, then something very interesting happens, because you realize that all our premise that the spiritual path is meaningful is predicated on the hero. It's the hero who becomes a Buddha, sitting under the Bodhi tree, becomes a Buddha, this heroic act. And you go, okay, I'm the Buddha now. And you think, no, I'm not the Buddha now, I'm still Richard. There's something wrong with my narrative. The meaning I am looking for is me, but I know I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm going round and round in circles looking at myself in the mirror.
Yeah, I think a lot of people embark upon a spiritual journey to inflate this hero,
Yes.
to be the greatest hero,
And
and then it very quickly humbles you.
It does.
In that the hero doesn't even exist.
The hero doesn't even exist. And then you embark upon a very interesting exploration, because you can no longer be guided by your sense of meaning. Now, your sense of meaning is actually a construct. I'm a British guy living in America. I have things that mean things to me that Americans don't agree with or don't even know exist, probably. Yeah. And so the meaning is a very, very kind of, temporary phenomenon, as to what's really meaningful for you. So that's a very interesting moment. Now, in faith religions, it's called a crisis. But in the wisdom traditions of Asia, it's called that's the opportunity, because it's there that you break free of a narrated spiritual path into the potential of an actual spiritual path. Now, the actual spiritual path is we are full of what in psychology are called loaded vectors. In Buddhism, it's called kleshas. These are learnt reactivity. And the job initially is to pacify the really noisy ones, which are going to otherwise throw you off balance, and then gradually learn to inhabit non-reactivity in a way that the other ones don't manifest at all.
Would that be like the three kleshas, or like the three poisons?
Yeah, the three poisons are the classic example. So desire and anger are easy to see. Well, they're pretty easy to see. And as a result, through a path of effort, they're pretty easy to conquer. You can calm them down. The one that's very problematic is the third one, called ignorance, because ignorance is hard to see. Now, it's actually very easy to pacify, but it's hard to see. Now, what is ignorance? Ignorance is ignorance of the process of recognition. We don't realize that we are recognizing. We don't realize that our innate intelligence is being occluded, covered over by a recognitive world of words, moment to about 20 times a second is the rate of refresh.
It makes me think of, it's like we're wearing a colored shade of glasses,
Exactly.
looking around, we have no idea that we're wearing this colored shade of glasses, and trying to see what the real color of things is. Yeah.
But it's even worse because it's blinkers. It's not just glasses. There are things we just don't see because our blinkers won't allow it. The regime of mind doesn't want you to see that. That's irrelevant material. And again, big discovery about 3 weeks ago. Oh my God, we're filtering our experience. Yes, indeed we are. So that's the beginning of the path of meditation. And then we start realizing, I've got all these capacities that I never knew I had. Now, meditation is a tool. It is not an end. Meditation is a way of beginning down a road of fulfilling human potential.